Hi Stampers, welcome to Coffee and a Card. I'm Vicki Sewell, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Chattanooga, Tennessee. You can follow me on Facebook at StampinChat30 or email me at stampinchat30@gmail.com. Our winner from last week's drawing is Sarah Pierce. She wins a card kit, and as an extra bonus, I'm sending her this celebration stamp set, Heal Your Heart. Today I'll be showing how to make this lovely window card using a circle punch. It's especially nice because when you finish the outside, the inside is pretty much done also. It's kind of a twofer. I'll be using the Touch of Ink stamp set. It's a celebration item. And I'll also be using Happy Thoughts for the sentiments. Stampin' Up! Has 3 active catalogs right now. The big annual catalog, a spring mini catalog that runs from January through June, and we have this little celebration catalog that has free items available with qualified purchases. This promotion is only good through the end of February. It has some beautiful papers to choose from. Let me show you those really quickly. This is the Paper Bloom set in Blues and Rococo Rose. It has 6 different designs. And then if you flip these over, it has 6 different designs on the back. So you get 12 different designs. There's also the Oh So Ombre papers. There's Rococo Rose, Blackberry Bliss. If you turn them over, there's Bermuda Bay and Granny Apple Green. There's also the very bright Field and Flowers Designer Series papers. These are really pretty and bright, cheerful. Great for springtime cards. And if you turn those over, these are the designs that are on the back. There's a great tulip design. Stampin' Up! Has a tulip stamp set. Also, as one of the celebration items, there's a set called Berry Blessings. It includes these beautiful summery designer papers and also a berry punch. No, a berry stamp set. And here's the back of those papers. There are also free stamp sets available. And so today I'm highlighting the Touch of Ink stamp set. It's in this mini catalog right here in the celebration catalog. The paper you will need is colored cardstock that measures 5.5 by 4.5 inches. On my sample card, I chose Petal Pink because of the Designer Series paper. There's a lot of Petal Pink in this paper. But the piece I'm going to use today has more of the bumblebee, so I'm choosing the bumblebee color today. You'll need a piece of basic white that measures 10.5 by 4 inches, scored at 5 1/4, and folded in half. Then you'll need Designer Series paper. I'm using some Designer Series paper from the Fine Art Floral, and I just wanted to show off these gorgeous flowers. They're almost like an artist painted them. And these are all the designs that are in that Fine Art Floral. one really nice feature of this is it has an acetate sheet that fits over and gives it a gold outline for 2 of the papers. Here's another one with one of the gold acetate sheets, and it fits right over the flowers. That's in our mini catalog. Right here, it's the Fine Art Floral Suite. And the papers are right down here at the bottom. They also have alternate sides too. So you'll need a piece of that designer series paper or a paper of your choice that's cut 1 1/4 inch by 4 inches. So let's get started on this card. First, you'll need to punch a hole in the front with a 2.5 inch circle, 2-inch circle punch. Just slide it in as far as it will go and punch your circle. Next, I'm going to bring in my stamp pad and I'm going to ink up the nice flower stamp from the Touch of Ink stamp set. Sorry, I'm reaching across in front of you. We're going to stamp it just so it just shows through that window. Beautiful. Check to make sure it's showing. Yep. Now, this is a two-step stamp set. There's a flower stamp that will stamp your color, and I'm going to stamp it in Bumblebee ink. Now, Stampin' Up! Has end colors that are only around for about 2 years. So Bumblebee will be here from 2020 to 2022. And I don't buy the regular size ink pads for those end colors unless I really fall in love with one of them. What I do instead to save space is buy a pack of the small uninked stamp spots, and then I buy the bottles of ink refill. You can find the Stampin' Spots on page 147 of the annual catalog, and the ink refill bottles are on page 143. I find that saves me space in my craft room. Now, this second stamp is not made to match up with the flower exactly. It's made to give more of an artistic impression. And I don't want the colors so dark, so I'm going to go over here and stamp off just a little bit, stamp off some of that color. There'll still be plenty of ink left for me to stamp on this flower, but it'll be a lighter color this time. So I'm just going to turn it. There we go. Like I say, that just gives an impression of color there. Now I'm ready to stamp the butterfly. There's a butterfly stamp in this set. And I'm going to stamp that butterfly really close to the flower. And it's also a two-step stamp. I could color it with the other stamp, But instead, this time, I'm going to color it with my Stampin' blends. I'm using Pool Party. I like to use the darker one first around the outer edges. You can probably hear that coloring. Stampin' blends really make you look like an artist. And then I go back in with the lighter color and kind of blend in around those edges. And then just finish coloring. Quick and simple. I'm going to use Smoky Slate to color the butterfly's body. I'm using the fine tip end. Each blend has a wider end, a brush end, and a fine tip end. And I'm going to set that up to dry for just a minute. Next thing you'll need is a piece of scrap paper. And we're going to stamp another butterfly on that scrap paper. I'm going to color it just like the other one. Take a minute just to blend those edges in. But I'm not going to color the body this time. In fact, watch closely, we're going to just cut out the wings. So we just need the wings for the front. So I'm going to fussy cut around the wings. And to save you watching me do the whole process, I've already got some wings cut out here and colored. So this is going to go on the front of the card. I'm going to attach it with a little bit of Tombow glue. Notice where I'm putting my thumb. I don't want to get any glue there. Just a little bit of glue around here. And we're going to place these wings right at the edge of the circle. Just like that. It's always fun to add a little extra sparkle with a wink of Stella. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but this adds sparkle and glitter. Just really quickly and easily. There's no glitter mess. It is hard for the sparkle and shine to show up on camera and in pictures though. It's hard to see that. And I'm also going to color the inside just like that. Isn't that lovely? That adds a little extra depth and interest to your cards. All right, I'm ready to add the Designer Series strip of paper to the bottom. I'll attach a little seal. As I attach that, I'm going to hold down one corner over here and make sure the other corner matches. Lines up. Now we may have a little extra on that side. That's okay. You can just take your snips and trim that off. Just like that. Now it's time to stamp the sentiment before we put the ribbon on. I've chosen Thinking of You from this stamp set. And we're just going to add it right here in the corner. I'm going to add some ribbon, but because the ribbon will show on the back of the card, I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape right here. Tear and tape comes in a roll like this, and you just tear off a piece. And then I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to get that off. Maybe the other side will work better. Sometimes one side's more cooperative than the other. There we go. If you don't have a Take Your Pick tool, it's very easy to change. There's a pick for dies, and then there's what I call the paddle side, and you can just change it around to whichever side you want to use very easily. All right, now for the ribbon, I'm using some bumblebee ribbon to match my bumblebee base. And I'm just going to lay it across the tear and tape right at the top of that designer paper. And go around the back. Pull it right across. I've overlapped a little here, and I'm going to trim that off. Now, I've made a bow in the bumblebee, and I'm going to attach that bow with some glue dots. They're very sticky. They may stick to my fingers. There we go. Just add a glue dot right there and attach that ribbon. I always like to add a little bling to the card. Oh, I was going to show you this. You know, sometimes you get your card almost all made and you stamp your sentiment and something goes wrong. I really like this double oval punch. If you make a mistake, you can stamp your sentiment on a piece of scrap white, back it with some of your cardstock color, and then just glue that over it. It'll still show through the window, but that's all right. There's always a way to fix a mistake. A lot of times if I have a little ink spot, I'll add a little bling to cover up the ink spot. Right, but I like to add bling no matter what, so I'm going to add some of these little rhinestones. These are the clear rhinestones. I think it's just a really easy way to dress up a card. Okay. And I'm going to put some in the middle of the flower. I love that they're self-stick. You don't have to fool with any glue. You can get it right where you want it. And press down. These want to run all over the place though. There we go. Alright. Here's my second one. So that's a big flower. I'm going to put 3 there. And one on the little flower. Oh, it's on my finger now. There we go. Whoop. One I don't want. Take him back. There, isn't that beautiful? Now we just need to add the backing. So we'll turn it over and attach it with some seal. Run one across the middle just for good measure. We'll take a minute to center it. And there you have a beautiful card. On my display card, I added a sentiment on the inside from the Happy Thoughts stamp set. It says, just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way. I'm not going to add a sentiment on this one today because I might want to send it to someone who's sick, or I might want to use it as a sympathy card. I'm going to wait on the inside to add the sentiment later. I have 2 other examples of cards that I've made using this same design. There's a hummingbird in this set. You can see the hummingbird, and there's the 2-step image. There's leaves and the 2-step image to color it. There's the flower that I used and the butterfly that I used. This time, instead of coloring the butterfly, I stamped it onto some of this Paper Blooms paper. So to show you how that works, I'm going to stamp the the hummingbird in some black ink, and so you can see it really well. And then you just turn the butterfly on the paper, turn the paper, and kind of look for where you'd like to stamp the butterfly, looking at the colors in the background to see what you'd like to see the most, like that. And I decided I wanted to use the part of this flower for his head, and then the blue wings, the light blue and the dark blue for the wings. So that's another way to use your designer paper and to have lots of pretty color on your cards. On the next card, I used a different stamp set. This one is from Dragonfly Garden. It's in the mini catalog. And this is Misty Moonlight base. And you'll notice these little dragonflies, they are so cute. They are just really easy to punch out. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a tiny little dragonfly here that you can punch out, which I punched out for little accents to add to this card. And inside is the beautiful wildflower set from the Dragonfly Garden. Now, instead of adding the rhinestones, I used the fine tip glue that Stampin' Up! Has, and I just squirted a few dots for decoration, and I squirted a few dots here for the center of the flowers. It dries clear, and it has a 3D effect, just like a 3D sequin or embellishment. Very easy to do. A lot of times you can use it if you have a big flower arrangement, you can use it to add dewdrops to the leaves. This week, if you like my video, I'll put your name in a drawing for a card kit and a sample of all the celebration papers. I'll send you a little sampler kit. Here's the cards. I'll show you one more time the cards that I've made. Now I can't find the one I just made. Ha! Well, surprisingly, things disappear off my table all the time. Be sure to comment if you share. Be sure to comment that you shared, otherwise I have no way of knowing who you are. All the products I've used are available from my online store. You can just click the Shop Now link above, and if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be yours. Thank you for joining me for Coffee and a Card today. Be sure to ink it up and send a blessing to someone today. Bye!